go.
We're live, yeah.
That's convincing.
Now we're live. It's got like a red thing around the top, so.
Oh, is that an indicator?
It is an indicator. So if you ever see that in your dreams, then you know your dreams are being recorded.
When I have a camera with a red light
I've been having
watching
some
me.
weird dreams lately.
Oh.
I dreamt the other day that I was, let's see, I was playing drums at church, but I showed up just as, like, they were starting to play music.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized I had left my headphones and I need to hear what's going on. I'd left them in the car. And then I realized that there was no snare drum there anymore. It was like this tiny little thing.
Ah, that's funny.
And once I finally started playing, I felt like I was underwater. Everything was so heavy. And yeah, I woke up in a vague panic. But
well,
it wasn't real. It was just a dream.
Allow me to interpret your dream.
Oh, please, please, please do.
No, I got nothing. Sounds like you're stressed out about something.
I don't know. I guess, but everything went really good.
He was so anxious about this Facebook Live that he had nightmares.
How's it going?
Really great. I had an awesome morning.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna tell you about this coffee here.
Okay.
I had a customer come in, and really sweet young girl in a huge rush to get something printed off, and and in the end it was just 70 cents worth, but she was running late, and then she hands me a credit card, and I'm like, just go. You are in a hurry.
For 70 cents, yeah, the credit card is
so long to run. And she was super
not really
grateful.
worth it, yeah.
And then later she brought me a coffee.
That's super. I love that.
Yep, she said that I made her day much better, and she was super grateful. And then she was pulling out of the parking lot. I was like, I should have asked if she needed a job.
Yeah.
So I did not have time to run after her, but yeah.
Lady who gave us coffee. Let us give you a job, maybe.
Maybe. Let us give you a job interview.
Let's not get crazy. Let's not get completely insane.
Who knows? Maybe she's a full-time student, not interested. But I was like, that's the kind of person we like. That's awesome.
That's super sweet.
Yeah.
Well, but that's also a great testament to, again, like what we do here isn't like super sexy. It's not like iPhones, where it's like people are just standing in line overnight trying to get the latest and greatest. But yeah, when you really need that report printed or that resume for the thing, it's like 70 cents, but it's a really important 70 cents. It can really mess your day up if those things don't work like they're supposed to.
So that was really sweet. That made my day.
I love that. Do you think Rhonda's watching? Rhonda says that she watches every time. I never see her name pop up, so maybe she's just lying to us. But Rhonda's good people, so
she says
I wouldn't expect her to lie to us.
Yeah.
But if you're watching, Rhonda, hello.
Hi,
hello.
Love you.
How are you? Man, I don't have a story as good as
I know. I'm sorry, and I had to cross out what I was going to talk about because I was like, nope, this trumps it.
You could talk about something else, but
I'm just huge and pregnant and overdid it this past weekend, and what normally would have been a breeze, the next day I was so sore. I felt like such a wuss.
Well, I experienced similar symptoms, but for me it's just called getting old. Yeah. The ab muscles. They don't like being worked and stretched out. Yeah. So wow, that was not comfy. Well, but I had a great time dancing with my husband, so it was worth it. Oh, nice. Very good. Actually, speaking of dancing, we talked about dancing a little bit in the podcast you and I recorded last week.
Indeed, yes.
And so I realized though that you haven't signed the desk.
Oh.
This is the podcasting desk, and it's probably super hard to make out.
Doesn't matter which direction I sign in.
Whatever. It's all totally random. But when people come in the office to podcast with me, they sign the desk. So boom.
Bam.
Dink. Nice, good work.
Thank you.
In other, even more exciting news, baseball season starts on Thursday.
Go Red Sox!
Oh, man. See, the fact that you don't care just makes it worse because that is just to antagonize
Not even a little.
Maddie and I played a little MLB The Show video game last night that just came out. And
I had to think for a minute what MLB stood for. I'm sorry, I was like, MLB. Oh, Major League Baseball?
Major League Baseball.
Yes.
So we're sitting on the couch playing, and Nicole is sitting there reading a book, getting smarter while me and Maddie just play video games. And we don't play a lot of video games. We really don't. We have far too many video games for as little as we play them. And at some point, I like whisper to Nicole, I'm like, take a picture. Because I'm like, this is adorable. We're both just like zoned in.
Yep.
She takes a picture of the screen.
She
take a picture of us at all. She's like, oh, I thought you just meant because it looks so lifelike. It was awesome.
That's
It was amazing.
Funny.
But yeah, I'm super geeked for baseball season to start and for there to be games to watch and whatnot. Yes. So my little Yankee bobblehead has joined Chompy today. But that's not, we're probably here to talk about some actual thing.
We can talk about work stuff.
Yeah. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to sprinkle it in there.
Oh.
Boom. Automated mail.
Automated mail. So, mailing. Mailing's fun. Mailing has a whole lot of rules. And when I say mailing, I'm talking specifically about automated / bulk mail. Whoa, that was weird.
Yeah.
We zoomed in and out.
We were doing it, yeah. I mean, you're seeing it in the past. They saw it.
Right?
Yeah. So now you look like you're really out of sequence. But,
I really am.
Yeah, we're not like we're not shipping packages for people.
Exactly.
I need to get this to Aunt Sally.
Right. Not FedEx, not UPS.
Yeah.
We are talking bulk mailing for whether that's advertising or newsletters, so on. So just to give you an idea of some of the rules that I have to follow with bulk mailing.
Let's see if we can get in on this here a little bit.
This little chart has just some of the little requirements. You know, you've got where different things are allowed to be and spaces for barcodes and indicias, and I'm probably not pointing at the right things because I can't see it.
Yeah.
But you can see that is quite the little chart. And so I have to know all these rules. I get to know all these rules, so you don't have to.
Yes. And I'm glad you know all these rules because I know 2 of them.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
maybe 3.
It's pretty elaborate. I mean, it makes sense in the end, but putting it all together, I mean, I've got like a manual at this point.
Yeah. Truly an area of specialization.
It is.
Yeah.
But I take care of this for you so that when you say, hey, I want to mail something like this. This is our really nifty little, when road construction was affecting the route to us.
Yep.
We sent this to our customers so they could kind of keep tabs on that. And we actually sent, let's see here, we actually sent another one with a map on it too, as a follow-up once things were more
had kind of progressed to where they were
concrete.
Ooh.
Roadwork? No, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's good, yeah.
And so, so you can send out anything from like a little postcard like this. The magic of bulk mailing is this little indicia right here, and that is
I'm
what.
I'm never gonna be able to get.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
Let's see. That's close. That's close.
The little indicia here is what gives us that special postage rate, so you get to save money. That's the point of bulk mailing. So as long as you're sending at least 200 pieces, you can get almost half the cost in postage.
Yeah.
And then that little barcode there is the other very important part. This is the automated part. The barcode is what makes it automated, so that their machines can run it and process it quickly, and therefore charge the customer less.
And so we have our own permit with the post office, so people they'll have to have their own permit and they can bring it in and we mail it on our permit and it all works.
Yep.
But if they happen to have one through their business or their nonprofit, then we can mail on their behalf using their permit as well.
Yeah, so this little magic indicia is specific to a business. So most of the time we use ours for you. But yes, on occasion, so some of our nonprofits, they have their own account with the post office, so that it does require some setup. But then if they're a nonprofit, they get an even better postal rate for bulk mailing. So if you are a nonprofit and you need to be getting your stuff out there, or you're still hand applying stamps, don't do it.
Yeah. Well, especially when stamps have gotten crazy.
Exactly, they're 55 cents each now.
Yeah, that was a pretty good
jump. I keep just absent-mindedly telling people, or in my head calculating it as 49 cents, and I'm like, no, that is not the case.
Not so much. It had a pretty good jump.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if you do need to be reaching out, even if that's just your members, and you're doing a member list mailing that's more than 200 apiece, you might really benefit, especially if you're a nonprofit, from setting up that nonprofit account with the post office and then letting us help you.
Yeah, so being a nonprofit from a business standpoint isn't enough. You also have to then register with the post office as a nonprofit.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the second thing.
And then you get this.
That's the two things I know.
Exactly.
The little box in the corner
well
and that
done.
part. Yeah.
Well done.
I'm just going to take a nap from here on out.
So yeah, there are a few rules. So the 200-piece minimum is absolutely necessary. The barcode, which I take care of for you.
Sure.
And then an address list. So you'd have to give me like an Excel list that has all the addresses. And then we run that through a cleanup process, a necessary cleanup process through the USPS database. And it kicks out any bad addresses. So what that does is it allows the post office to be receiving something that they know these are actually going to work. None of these are going to be rejected.
Everything has been organized and cleaned up. And,
Exactly. So yeah, as long as you, and then of course there's size rules, which I can help you with. So whenever you decide you're going to start setting up a mailer, give us a call. I'll figure out what you need and then kind of point you in the right direction for setup.
Yeah.
They're very specific about the room they need for this space here. That's why we've got all this blank space around the address.
Yeah.
Because they will not allow it if the address is like squished way over here. So,
yeah, and it doesn't have to be, like we have a lot of extra space there, but there is a specific amount that they need.
Yep.
We probably have a little more
Has
here.
to do with this little guy right here where you have to line it up and see what room you have. So when you get to that stage, let me help.
Yeah.
I will save you a headache.
And ultimately, the trade-off is basically you do it yourself and you're paying a premium on postage. You let us do it, you're paying considerably less on postage, paying some of that back to us to do the work.
Yep.
Generally still coming out less than you would with postage.
Yeah.
And the customer didn't have to do stuff.
Exactly.
You're not stamping envelopes. You're not stuffing things.
Handwriting or labeling addresses. Yeah.
So they get out from under the burden of doing it so they can continue to do the good work they do.
Yep.
And it generally saves them money.
And they get to outreach. I mean, that's a huge thing.
Sure.
Mailing is still surprisingly necessity.
Yes.
Mailing is still
a surprising
surprisingly
necessary.
necessary.
Yeah, there are a few different ways you could go with that, but I feel like you're
They know what I meant.
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Another example is newsletters. So we can do a full 11 by 17 that gets folded.
Yeah, we talked about some of that kind of stuff last time.
Yep. And then it would get just these little tabs right here and here to hold it closed. And again, we would do the rest. We just need room in the proper spaces. And we would put the little barcode and indicia on there, process your list. But yeah, just about anything is well, I shouldn't say that.
You'd be surprised at how many things.
But we can do catalog size as well.
Sure.
So say this was much beefier and bigger, we would be able to leave it flat like this and then just tab it here and mail it like that. So you've got lots of options for what you can send out.
Yeah. And so, I mean, the best first place to start, though, is to say, here's what I want to do, give you a call, and then find out
so I can at least
what,
point you in the right direction.
What the details
Make sure your
need to be.
formatting's correct.
Yeah.
They've got some funny little rules about the fact that this has to
Where
be
that
up
panel
here.
needs to
You
be.
can't have the panel of address down here.
Yeah.
So one of those little quirks.
It's got to go through the machine certain ways, and they
certain
want
directions.
the folds on certain sides, and the open place, and man.
Yes, exactly. And another cool little thing you can do is put it's called a remittance envelope. And so basically, if you want your customer or your member to send something back, you can have this little return envelope in with it and mail it all together. And there's very, very strict rules on the remittance envelopes.
Sure.
So you
Especially
can
if you're asking for money, right?
Exactly, exactly. And so you can do this two different ways as well. You can do it where, in this case, it just says place stamp here, so that they have to stamp it and pay the postage. Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
since you zoomed in.
I mean,
Place stamp here.
I think people understand what those words mean,
Indeed.
so it's probably unnecessary, but
However, even though you would get a stamp there, you still need the barcode. You still need this special, this is called a FIM. Learning new things.
fancy.
You still need these items here for the return, because if this goes out in a bulk mail, they want it to be returned as a bulk mail as well.
Sure.
And you have one more option. There's more.
But wait, there's one more thing.
Oh, not just one.
Oh, okay.
No, but for the remittance envelope, you can prepay the postage for them as well. So if you're feeling generous and you really want them to send this back,
Yeah.
you can have prepaid postage on here, which has another set of rules. You have to have an account with the post office so that they can charge you every time one of these gets returned.
So yeah, you get charged for the ones that actually get sent back.
You don't just get charged for all of them. It's not like pre-stamping them.
Yeah.
It's basically as these get scanned, your account gets charged for the ones that are returned. It's really a nifty setup. I mean, it's pretty brilliant. But yeah, there are lots of rules.
No shortage of complexity
when you want
for
to
us.
do it, exactly.
Not for them.
Exactly.
That's the beauty part.
We'll make it easy. We just need to know what you want to do.
Yeah.
So those are probably the most common things we do. And then, let's see here. I mean, we get mail all the time.
Yeah.
This is a perfect example of a bulk mailer that we receive. You can see that almost anything you get that is a mass mailing, you will see a barcode on it. And you will see
Let's see if I can get into the...
You'll see the barcode, and you'll see that little indicia.
Well, and it says, hungry neighbor at blah, blah, blah. So clearly, like, we don't have a relationship with them. They've gotten our address from somewhere and have just included some sort of canned...
They've bought a list somehow and received a bunch of addresses, but without the name. So they are then able to put whatever kind of intro they want. Box holder, current resident, hungry neighbor.
Yeah, and we've seen, resident of whatever, and you get mail from people and all that good stuff. So,
exactly.
Those are all possibilities. So then you can procure lists for people as well, correct? So if someone has their membership group, their whatever, that's easy. But if someone says, I have this big project that's going to affect all the people in my neighborhood, and I need to make sure that everyone is aware of the ...
We get a lot of road commissioner stuff, for example. So they usually get lists from the state, but there are mailings called EDDM, Every Door Direct Mailer. And what we can do is this really cool thing where we go to the USPS site and we can select a route. So basically, if you say, I really want to cover everything down on 10th Avenue downtown, I can click on 10th Avenue in their little map, and it's going to pull up that mailing route. So whoever is in charge of getting the mail to the people along that route, it's going to be their entire route. Now, you can't be picky on it, so if it includes some of 8th and 9th as well, you're stuck with that. But you can get that mail piece to everyone along that route. Usually there's at least 300 people per route. It's rare that it's less than that. So you always have to be prepared for it being kind of a larger mailer. A lot of the routes are 500 plus. And then you don't have to provide me an address list. You can just say, yeah, that's the route. That's the area I want to mail to everyone in that area. And then I can do something along the lines of how that mailer said, hungry neighbor. I can put on there current resident or current box holder if it's P.O. boxes, so on and so forth. So yeah, it's a really cool tool if you have an area you're trying to target. There are, again, other rules for that that I will help you follow. You can't mail tiny postcards to those. They have to be bigger. Actually,
oh, really?
Yep, they have
Something
to be
like this.
not as big as this, but along these lines. They have to be bigger when you're going that way, which which I don't know. It's always a trick with the post office. You never know if it's a matter of what they have started enforcing more, because I know I've received little postcards like that, or rules changing. But now it is very strict. It has to be a larger mail piece if you choose to do a full route. But it's a really neat tool. Beyond that, you can get even more specific. So that's the more affordable way to get an entire area. But if you want to be really picky, you can even purchase a list that is actual addresses and then weed out different people. You can do it by household size. You can even target people specifically with insurance or not. You can choose age.
So there are list providers that then allow you to get really granular.
So they're using like census information, and they are compiling that into a massive database and letting you weed out who you actually want to target, who your target audience are. Those lists can be really expensive, depending on how picky you are.
How targeted there.
But it is possible to do. So if you have a market, you want to really cover like all of Fairbanks, but you only want a certain age group.
Retirees.
Exactly. You can do that. It's pretty nifty.
Yeah.
That takes, you want to always factor in a little bit of time to get your list honed down, because there are going to be more options than.
Well, I know we've had people who have said, I want to do all of 9970 whatever.
Right, and then
they're shocked at how many that is. You know, they're like, oh, we thought it would be this, and it's way more than that.
So you got to be prepared to really narrow it down, unless you really do want to spend thousands or send to thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but it's a cool feature, and we can certainly facilitate that as well.
Yeah, and so this then takes all of the frustration and headache out for the customer, where they are not having to deal with all of this mess.
Exactly.
And they get to save money.
Yep.
That seems like an ideal kind of situation. So I have an example of something that is not automated at all. I can't show this because it's got someone's address on it, but I got this lovely little card in the mail today. Somebody in Massachusetts, who that seems to be the only thing that is wrong with them. See, it's this Yankees Red Sox things. I don't know.
Go.
But they saw my TED Talk about Thanks Fairbanks and decided to start sending out cards every day, and wrote me this lovely note about wanting to, appreciating the video and wanting to make sure that I received a note because it had prompted them. And so, while you're working on the automated stuff for work and the big stuff, don't ever forget that once in a while, one card is good too. And so, that definitely made my day, and it's super weird when you realize that when you put things on the internet, people all over the world can see them.
And
I've had a chance to meet people from all sorts of different countries, and so that was just really sweet
cool.
today, and sort of timely.
We've both had a really good day.
Yeah.
Thank
I mean,
you,
it's
people.
10:23, and it's been fantastic.
Awesome.
So the easiest way to start this process is to either go to the website, datelinedigital.com.
And submit your various documents, your mail list, and what you want to mail out.
Yeah.
Or if you're kind of really unsure of where to begin, you can just call me.
Yep. And so that is 479-3831. Man, there was just a moment there where I was like, I have no idea what number I'm giving out right now.
Well, so my parents' phone number is very similar to this phone number. Which I won't say. But there have been multiple times right after I say the number, like, wait, did I say the right? Which number did I say? Did I get that right?
Yes. Yep. I can relate. So give you a call, and if you are the kind of wonderful person who would give someone coffee, and you're looking for gainful employment with a pretty remarkable group of people, if I do say so myself, which I just did. So.
Bold,
also, give us a call. Go to the website. You can apply there. That kind of stuff. We are looking for somebody.
And we're interviewing now. So
yes, you had your first interview yesterday. Yeah.
So we want to make sure we got a few hats in the ring.
Sure. Absolutely. Mine's clear.
Where would someone go see that video that inspired that lovely person to write you the thank you?
You can just go to datelinedigital.com. There's a thing to click on the top that says "Made for You." And that's all the kind of stuff we do, the podcast, all that good stuff. So you can go there, and you will stumble across that video. Yep. Geoff Welch TEDx. That's a good Google search too. That's always fun.
Yep.
Just a good time for everybody.
You'll find all kinds of stuff.
Good. Okay.
Excellent.
Anything else you need to communicate, convey?
No, it's a good day. I'm pretty happy.
Then
I hope you all have as good a day as ours has been.
Yeah, that sounds like a good thing to do. Do it. All right, nice work.